Look, I see matches in the kingdom. I see hunters slaying demons. I see fire on this earth coming down like Hiroshima. I see prophets rising up, prophesying scriptures cut. I see Christ, he coming back, and he black, he look like us. I see it, I see it, I see it.
We are not a hate group. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Welcome to another edition of Precept Upon Precept. Before we begin, go to our YouTube page, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. And there's a QR code on the lower left-hand side. I was watching Battle Axe Radio with Captain Zion. He said, look, you only got 5 seconds. Take your phone out, aim the camera at that box. When the link comes up, you go ahead and click it and scan the code. All right, so we are your hosts. I'm Captain Shim.
Officer Matthew.
Officer Mikael.
Officer Micah.
And we are Precept Upon Precept. You know how we roll. We start with the first segment with Officer Micah giving the hot news of what's going on in this world today with the Watchman Report. Take it away.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Good evening. Don't want to hold the show up. Let's get right to the news. One of the world's biggest cities may be just months away from running out of water. So y'all might want to go check this out, all right? If you're living next to Mexico City, it's a good read. It'll take you about 9 minutes. Biden administration to impose major sanctions to hold Russia accountable for Navalny's death. Well, did you look at that? They got an army. They're going to put sanctions on them. All right. Intense bursts of rain threaten flooding and landslides in L.A. area as storm hands California its final soaking. And the weather got pretty bad out there, so Lord's will, that water will subside. Next article, please. Chiefs Super Bowl rally shooting started because someone was looking at someone else. So make a covenant with your eyes, Israel. Don't be looking at nobody else, because niggas is crazy. AT&T cellular service restored after day-long outage. Cause still unknown. Hey, they say they had out a credit. I got a text message. So if you with AT&T, they say they're going to give you a credit on your account. So be looking out for that. Deadly Texas wildfire torches 1 million acres. The largest blaze in state history as more infernos rage. And this concludes the Watchman Report.
Hey, shalom. Hey, it's the Late Show with us, y'all. Make sure, get your caffeinated beverage. Do what you got to do to stay up. I know in the East Coast, it's an hour ahead of time. Look, we're going to start like we usually do with the thumbnail that should show on the screen. Ms. Officer Mikael, tell us what the hell we have here.
So as you can see, the title says Esau the Terrible and his war on global food. So we have an image of the demon Esau, and in the background you see syringes, you see all different types of medicines, you see food that they're shooting those different medicines into, and in the very background that is a farm that is actually on fire because they're burning all the food, they're attacking the farmers, and all of that is coming together to show his war on the global food industry.
So all praise it. And look, when you look at that, when you look AI, man, this thing it can be used for the right. When you look at the upper left-hand corner, you see the syringe and you see the different, looks like chemical and other toxins. They're literally putting that in our foods, and they're not even hiding it. You could simply turn over the ingredient in some of the foods we eat, which we're all guilty of it, It has ingredients that have 14 to 18 letters, and we literally cannot pronounce them. And we put it in our body. And that's been going on for decades. So tonight's show, Esau is doing a lot of horrible things to our food, has been doing it, but we have some solutions for you. So let's go ahead and pull up last week. Go to General. I just sent it in about 12 minutes ago. We're going to show you last week in Poland. The focus of last week was on Poland, in Spain, rather. This week in Warsaw. Warsaw is the capital of Poland. Can we pull up a map of Poland? I know I didn't tell you to get it. Pull up a map of Poland. And let's get the video first. You should have that in a queue. And then we'll get a map of Poland, because this is getting even worse than it was last Thursday, the 22nd. This is from today. Today, yes. So just a little background for those of you who have not been watching us. We've been covering for the last several weeks about the protest that the farmers and also transportation unions are doing, not just in Poland, but throughout all of the major countries in Europe. That includes parts of Great Britain, Ireland, and England, all over. And it's not, a couple of dozen guys. There are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of protesters. And for that matter, there are thousands of tractors. And we covered last week the amount of fuel, the amount of resources, the amount of time lost that they're doing to sacrifice their time for what they believe. Anyways, long-winded Larry, play that. Notice real quick, they're all, Warsaw is the capital city. This is what I want you to do. Anytime you deal with me, man, you gotta admit, if I'm going to talk about something, I'm going to want a map and I'm going to want some data, right? So what do you think I want for Warsaw? I want the number of people in Warsaw, right? Last week in Madrid, Spain, there was almost 7 million people, almost the size of New York, bigger than Los Angeles, California. Warsaw is the largest city in Poland. It probably has several million people. And this is happening as of today and yesterday. So last week we thought it was culminating. No, it got worse. It got worse. Okay. All right, so 1.8 million people that's one of the, it would be one of the top 10 cities in the U.S. That's probably about the size of, I would say, no, San Diego's bigger than that. It's probably about the size of San Antonio, something about that. Anyways, so it's almost a couple million people, and it is a big metropolitan area. Go back to the video, and then we're going to play the other video. We just all we're doing is reviewing what we've been covering. And you see the Polish flags there. They're burning tires. And we don't see a lot of tractors in this one. Because what happened is, we're going to find out, is the police decided to set up barricades. That's why you don't see tractors there. But the farmers are like, we're going to lose our farm, so we're going to do whatever is necessary. So let's play the next video. Because the next video, they actually, look at the size of it. It's like a drone right here. So listen, why is this not being talked about everywhere? Look at the size of this demonstration here in Warsaw, Poland. Okay, let's really, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people there. All right, and they're all protesting the green policies for cutting down diesel, cutting carbon emissions, and things of that nature. Play. And there's a lot of people there, yo. We don't even need sound.
So I was watching, they had this thing on TikTok. I think it was TikTok or some social media. But Congress was asking, the environmentalists about how much of the atmosphere is CO2. He asked one lady, she said, I don't know. He asked the man, he said, I don't know, I'm 5%. Asked another man, he said, I don't know, 7%. So judge was like, okay, 7%, 5%. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? No, yeah, I'm gonna say 6%. I'm gonna go between 5 and 7. He said, okay. He said the amount of carbon dioxide that's in the atmosphere right now is 0.04%.
Wow.
Not 1/4%, not 1/2%, 0.04%. So y'all argument on what we need to do as far as green things and policies that y'all coming up with, it's unnecessary. And he smashed on them like, and it cut after that. But it goes to show you that this is all BS. It has nothing to do with the environment.
That's exactly correct. And when you really think about it, and this is why they hate Trump, because Donald Trump will pull stuff. He's got an expert in every field, and he challenges them. And a lot of, even some of the Democrats realize that it's a man-made push to control industries. It's a man-made push to control people. If you can control the food, first of all, if you control the fuel, that controls everything. If you control the fuel and food, you can dictate policy, because now it's going to be nationalized. Officer Mike, you better say something?
Yes, sir. I was gonna. What people fail to realize when that whole thing with Russia and Ukraine jumped off, 90% of the wheat that goes to Somalia comes from those countries. So 4.4 million Somalians. I've been tracking it up to this year. They're starving over there. And they think it can't affect them because, like I said in Second Ezra, vittles are sold good cheaper here in Babylon, so they can go to McDonald's, Burger King, get a cheeseburger, whatever. But over there, you can see kids' rib cages. Like, they lucky if they get a handful of beans or something. They are dropping dead from starvation. That's the worst type of way to die.
And to your point, Officer Michael, when you look at it affects, when Russia had the Nord Stream pipeline blown up, it affected all of Europe. And it also affected now the production because a lot of it got blown up and destroyed. So the Ukraine grains that was going throughout the world, because that's called the breadbasket of Asia, throughout the world, that really jammed everybody up. And of course, the poorest of the poor nations, third world countries in Africa, it's not Somalia is one of them. Ethiopia get it hit. A lot of these. Officer Matt, you've been to Ghana for a month.
Yep.
And I've been to Ghana. Let me tell you something. And that's not even the worst African country. But what we saw, especially in Accra, you saw poverty, right?
Yeah.
Some serious poverty, man.
And Kumasi as well. It's like
Yeah.
me and Captain Hananiah, matter of fact, we was in the kitchen right behind where we were staying at. There was shacks. And you would think like they look like sheds that somebody would have in their backyard, but there was people living in those things. You know what I'm saying? So we got it fairly easy over here. I mess with my wife all the time. Like whenever stuff goes on and she be trying to look for stuff, and I just look at it, be like, first world problem, huh?
Yeah, you're damn right.
First world problem, huh?
Hey,
you got too many shoes to look through.
Bruh.
First world problem, huh?
And that's why that's why a lot of these militaries in these countries, every man has to go through, like in I believe it's Italy, in certain countries in Europe, you have to go through 2 years of service. And when you go through certain things, like they give you, like in the military, for example, they'll give you times where you go food deprivation, sleep deprivation, weather deprivation, cold weather training, and you realize that you can be pushed to certain levels. A lot of you, this generation, and I'm not going to say that all people from this generation are weak, because that would be not true. It sound like a broken record. The reality is that we're getting really, really weak as a society right now, to the point where men don't even want to do men work anymore. The other day I was out there raking, and I raked for probably 3 hours continuously, nonstop. I got a burn in my back, and I got blisters all over my hand. I love it. I love when I get calluses and the blisters pop and bleed and begin to heal, because it makes me feel good, because that's what men do. We do stuff like that. And this generation is horrible, to the point where other people are worried, Officer Micah, about eating just getting the opportunity to eat once a day. And you got damn lardbacks over here that eat 6 to 8 times a day. That's a first-rate problem. And guess what? What I love about this, what's about to happen to the United States of America is a lot of you are not going to be able to eat as much as you want anymore coming up in the years to come. So that's why y'all better pay attention. You better start intermittent fasting. Anyways, I don't want to get there. We're going to come back to that. Now, did we get the next video finished or no? Let's finish the next video, and then we're going to move on. So remember this. You see how they have, this is the, look at it. See the picture of white Jesus there?
Yep.
You know, this is a thing that shows you, we did 2 shows called The House of Esau is Divided. That cross represents white Jesus, which represents Christianity. God loves all people, and that everything important is white. Those are white Polish people. The Ukrainians and the Russians, who have the same cross and the same general outlined or underlying beliefs. When 2 white folks or 2 white nations, you start messing with their money and their livelihood, that religion crap goes out the window, goes out the damn window. They both believe in the same exact style of religion, but they get ready to go to war. To the point where last week the Polish farmers blocked all imports and exports of grain and other commodities from the Ukraine, to the point where they were dumping train loads of grain on the tracks, showing that Christianity, that's a fake religion. It's a religion that has black people in complete sorcery, but that does not, that's not, the Bible's not their book. It's not their book. It's a religion they made, and they used the Bible as a backdrop to do what they want to do and conquer the world. But just to show you that they're divided. Their kingdom's going down, slowly but surely.
And Cap, to your point, with the Caesar bow, remember when this stuff popped off, the news anchors were saying, you know, these are Europeans. This is not African people or poor brown people from a third world. These are Europeans that look just like you and I. This is an outrage.
She literally said that.
Yep.
To the point where it's like black and brown do not matter. And the thing about it is, because remember when the Chinese anchor reported last week, was it 2 weeks ago, that the Caucasian networks in the United States said 660,000 Ukrainians are refugees. There was actually 9 million of them. So these reporters are like, look at all these white people going through hell. And they never seen nothing like that before, probably since the First and Second World War. But the point is, when it's a white people's problem, it becomes news. It becomes, now let's find out about Jennifer's story and how she went through. How did she get through the night, Jennifer? Well, meanwhile, you got 30,000 Palestinians that lost their lives. No one's taking the story about I can't think of a Palestinian name. They don't care. They're just all brown Palestinians. But there's white Israelis. There's 12 of them still in hostage. You killed 30,000 people, but there's 12 hostages. It's wrong to kidnap anybody. And now you've got stories on all of them. But you this recently, right? It was either today or yesterday. There were Palestinian refugees waiting for a food bank, waiting for food distribution, aid relief. They're waiting in line with the stuff in their hand, waiting to get the food. The Israeli soldiers, you can read, it's all over the news. They open up on them while they're waiting on the line. They open up on them. These guys, this is not a war. This is straight what they're doing to the Palestinians. It is straight genocide and acts of mass murder. That's all they're doing right now. It's friggin' nuts. I'm deviating real quick. Is that it on that video? Thank you, sir.
The demands are unchanged. It is to withdraw from the Green Deal.
Last week, we talked about the Green Deal is certain carbon emission requirements by 2030 and ultimately 2050. And we also talked that the vast majority of all farming industrial equipment runs off of diesel fuel. So that means that they have to get 50% reduction. So you have to change some of them to electric tractors and electric harvesters and things like that. And they are significantly more expensive than the diesel operants because it costs a lot of money to produce the batteries for them, and they don't have the money. In addition to that, remember, one third of all the EU's budget went for agriculture. Now they're not giving them the stipends, not giving them the aid they need to produce. And then what they were doing is they're still doing it. They're getting cheap grain from the Ukraine and from South America. And these people are friggin' pissed, all right? That's why they're doing what they're doing. And to the point where in Warsaw, get the map of Poland and Warsaw real quick, what they're doing is they're now saying, F the police, like an NWA early 90s song. They're breaking through barricades now. And guess what? They're not going to get arrested because when you deal with white people have rights. In a white country, and you're white, you got rights. You black farmers try to do this, see what happens to your ass. All right, there's Warsaw. So look how close it is to Russia, all right? And obviously Ukraine, it shares a large border. And you got the population, we're good with that. All right, did we finish that last video? All right. I'm dragging. We're going to jump ahead in a minute.
Z Zielonego Ładu całkowicie.
Completely. It is to protect our borders, primarily with Ukraine.
To jest ochrona naszych granic, przede wszystkim z Ukrainą.
For goods flowing from there that threaten our agriculture, and to protect animals. Animal protection, which means no agreement by farmers too.
Now remember, I'm gonna tell you what they do. I'm gonna tell you something. This is why I don't feel bad for none of these folks. This is why. Remember when the Ukrainians were fleeing from the Ukraine to Poland, black students with black women, they were rejecting them from even leaving. They were pushing them. They were physically abusing. They were verbally abusing. They would not let them on the train. We covered that in the show. But they're concerned with animals like horses and because white people value livestock more than black people, and that's what we don't understand. We see this, and that's why you coon ass black people over here in the United States that actually feel for the Ukrainians. You feel for them. They're the same devils, the Ukrainian Caucasians, the Polish Caucasians, the Yugoslavian, Russian. They're all the same house, the house of Esau, or the flock of Esau. They don't care about you at all. So in Poland, we've got to protect our border from the Ukraine. They're the two white people because now you're messing with one person's pockets. 3 years ago, they were buddy-buddy. Oh, my cousin is from Ukraine, this and that. Same overall culture, same religion. They don't give a damn. I've used the term, by the way, I just heard myself talk. Here's the thing. For those of you listening, we did not come up with the term white people. We didn't come up with the term black people. That was a term that was spoon-fed to us with a hammer and driven through our teeth. We never called ourselves black any time in history. Never. We never called ourselves African any time in history. You told us we were black, and you told us to call you white. So all we're doing is repeating terms. So that's not about reverse racism. No, it's not about that. It's not about, you picked the color that you represented pure. Black, you represented to be negative, derogatory, dark, evil. That's what you picked for us. But God got something for you. So God's got something for you, and we're about to show you later on. Play on. Okay. Now, very good. Go to the next. We're going to listen, y'all. These doggone government elected officials are the devil the Bible speaks of. Let me look. It's pull the next one. I'm looking for the yes, I'm sorry. That's correct. Yes, Gabe. How come it won't pull up?
I think we should kill them all if they'll make you feel better. Tennessee Congressman Andy Ogles responded to an activist question about circulating images of critically wounded Palestinian children in Gaza in a video shared on social media on February 20th.
All right, so this is actually wrong in the queue, but it's perfect because it shows that, to our point, Esau is the terrible. Because it was not a black or an Arab or a Chinese person. It was a Caucasian. It was an Edomite who said all Palestinians should die. Just showing you that that's their character. But
Remember, they teach their kids that too.
yes,
Yep.
I'm sorry. You said number one. I want to see the one about with this putting vaccines in foods. I don't know which one that is. Let me see. Is it? Hang on a second. Matter of fact, real quick, get me Job 9:24. I wanna just. You can never ever say enough about Job 9:24.
The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Because when you think about, read it again, because it's something that's very simple, but yet very powerful. Read.
The earth is given.
Stop. The earth. When you look at a globe of the earth from space, what do you see? You see massive bodies of water. You see land. You see some mountains, ranges. You see greenery. And all that earth, that from a distance, Esau is polluting and destroying all of it, to include the oceans. Matter of fact, they were having the Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. They had to create a whole division, a fleet, to clean up all the plastics and the crap in the harbor just to have people. It was horrible. Esau is the polluter and the destroyer of this earth. Okay, Isaiah said that even the fir trees are going to rejoice when he goes down. Okay, read it again.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
So this is the part that black people will not accept. God gave the earth to the white man. He gave it to them. Why? Because we didn't keep his arrangement, his laws. Because we didn't do what we were supposed to, he gave it to them. So this is spiritual. The earth being polluted is spiritual. God wanted all this to happen. Why? So he can show his power and deliver us. You got to see for what it is. When you look at all around you, oh, the vaccines are going in the food. If you have a normal carnal mind, it will make you go crazy. It's like you can't do nothing. We know all this is going to happen. And it's going to be worse. Read on.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Right.
If not, where and who is he?
Right. So that's why we know that the Arab is not Esau. The Arabs are not putting vaccines in foods and killing 30,000 Palestinians. The Arabs are not taxing and creating green deals that making their own people, okay, mass protests and uprise in these countries. Number two, I think it is. Solomon posted something where it goes into, Officer Solomon, excuse me.
Hey, while we getting that, can I get Psalm 64? Start at verse 2. Psalm 64 and 2.
The book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
So David says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Them putting vaccines in this food is secret counsels of the wicked. Read.
From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Uh-huh.
Who's whet their tongue like a sword.
Who whet their tongue like a sword, meaning they speak villainy. And they use these real simple words and they like to write policies. Read.
And bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly, all their plots are to shoot at the perfect, which are the Israelites. This whole thing is about us. All this putting vaccines in the food and green deals that's affecting their own people. They call it collateral damage. But this is all to affect the Israelites. Read. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter.
Uh-huh.
They commune of laying snares privily. They
lay traps. They lay traps for us. Read.
They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities.
They search out iniquity, like your gluttony. That's why they know that they can give you deals on these fast foods that they are pumping this vaccine into, and making meat from synthetics, and they selling it to you because they know you're glutton. They know you like to eat 6, 7, 8 times. Read.
They accomplish a diligent search.
They accomplish the diligent search, meaning they know exactly what vaccines and what chemicals affect you in certain ways. They know what to put in the food to cause our children to have Down syndrome, or to be ADHD, or to have slow development. Read.
But the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
The inward thought of every one of them and their heart is deep. Whether it's Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, or whoever, they're all of them are deep. All of them are wicked.
All praises, yes, and that's true. And we're going to learn the hard way that vittles are going to be cheap, but Esau going to turn up on us, and that's why we always encourage you through the scriptures to fix your health and your diet. What do you got? What do you got for us? Too perfect. All
No
right.
farmers, no food. Will ye eat the bugs? Is exposing the hidden agenda behind global green policies.
Now let me say this though. Get me locusts and wild honey in Matthew or John. Just came to me. Our forefathers did eat certain bugs, locusts. Okay, John the Baptist, a black man. Now my spirit ain't built up that level yet, but it's biblical. So if I have to eat some, you know who won't be shy to eat them? Our resident larbacks, Gabe and Asa, just licked their lips when they said honey with the locust. They're not very happy I just said it. But they're back to salivating over locust. Chocolate covered locust, peanut butter locust, locust with honey, fried locust, sauteed locust.
I tried them before.
Yeah?
It tastes like sunflower seeds.
Damn. Read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 3 and verse 4. And the same John had his raiment of camel's hair, and a leathern girdle, and about his loins. And his meat was locusts and wild honey.
So our forefathers did eat. Now, I guess you could call that a bug. So, hey, it's biblical. It just came to my head real quick. Go back to that.
Watch the untold stories of farmers forced out of business, and why edible bugs are suddenly being purchased
Being pushed to the
fore as global green solution.
So Esau is going to have us eating a bunch of bugs. Now, guess what? It is. You may want to go to the locusts after you see what some of these bastards are going to do to our food. We got a video to correspond with that, I believe so. All right.
Rat protiv poljoprivrede.
The war against the farmers
Poljoprivrednika je započeo u
starts in the Netherlands.
Nizozemskoj.
A lot of
people have no clue.
have no clue that agriculture contributes about 33% of all the emissions in the world.
So this is John Kerry to us, and Matthew made a very good point. They are creating standards that they create based on their data. That, if we do not reduce the carbon output, then the world's temperature is going to raise by 3 degrees and this and that. And there's a lot of other data that supports that said that's not true. And what they're making such strict policy called the Green Deal, they are really going to destroy hundreds and hundreds and if not thousands of small and medium-sized farms. This is what all the outcry is about, the Green Deal. And John Kerry, former senator, ran for president before. He is one of the major Democratic voices. By the way, it's a left movement. The Democratic Edomite movement, all right? That these dumb black women and these weak, effeminate black men actually get behind because it allows them to cross-dress, go in women's bathrooms, and do whatever the hell it's ludicrous. It's maddening, okay? And by the way, just so we're clear, if somebody is a man that lays with another man, if somebody is a man that dresses like a woman, our hope and prayer is that they stop, to repent, come out of that sin, just like if you were an adulterer, that's still wrong. If you was a monthly prognosticate, we don't hate people that are transgender. We don't hate people that are homosexual. We do not. We know it's a sin according to thus saith the Lord, just like we don't hate thieves. You just got to stop and come out of that. So this is not a bandwagon, a bash bandwagon. No, we're not. We're just saying what sin is, and it's wrong. Play.
Can't get to net zero unless agriculture is front and center.
They want me to produce less nitrogen.
So what does that mean? How many cows are you going to have left? Steaks?
We have to reduce half.
Would you be able to do that?
I don't know.
You can see the attack on farmers all over the world. It's an agenda that is being pushed through government officials in respective countries.
We live in fear. What are they going to do next?
By the way, when they say it's being pushed by government, remember, we read before Job 9:24, the government that's pushing all other governments. And by the way, this ain't black governments that are pushing this. It is the Edomite government, the Edomite kingdom, and who rules that kingdom is Babylon the Great, a.k.a. the United States of America. They are the ones that created the policy, literally created it, and then they pushed it to the EU, and it's going worldwide. So when they say governments, it is the white man in America. It is his agenda. Why? Because he was given the earth. Play on.
This crisis is just man-made. This man-made decision put us at a very dire state.
This is a problem when you make environmental policy more about politics than results.
The government wants to control the food, so we don't eat meat, but we eat insects.
We can put insects in all of those. Burgers, pasta, bread, smoothies.
So this right here is sort of the future of food.
Yes, this is future of food.
There's a group of people that is thinking they're doing everything good for nature. And they are against farmers.
So I want to pause here. So this is what the whole issue that we've been covering for the last 3 weeks is about. Is Esau at the top? They're not going to eat bugs. They're still going to eat the good foods. They're still going to eat beef. They're still going to eat all the fine fruits and vegetables. They want the masses to go away and to control them. And what's happening is other white people who don't agree with the people, they're going to war. And they're going to war economically. They're going to war through their transportation unions. And the farmers are not taking it anymore, to the point where they are burning tires, dumping truckloads and train loads of produce and grains, dropping manure and septic waste on the steps of government buildings, protesting by the hundreds and hundreds of tractors. You saw what happened in Madrid, Spain last week. Now it's Warsaw, Poland. This is mass uprising, and it's not given any coverage except for 30 seconds here or there. You know? What's Mike?
I was going to read a script for you, Kappa. Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 27. Behold, therefore, I have stretched out my hand over thee, and have diminished thine ordinary food, and delivered thee unto the will of them that hate thee.
Damn, read it again.
Behold, therefore, I have stretched out my hand over thee, and have diminished thine ordinary food.
So when Most High has diminished, that's a curse. When you have regular food, right? For example, you go back 100 years ago, a sweet potato, an apple, a carrot had significantly more vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. Now, today, the soils have been depleted. You don't get as much nutrients out of an apple as you did 100 years. So the ordinary food that we took for granted, Most High messing that thing up. Read it again. That's a beautiful scripture.
Behold, therefore, I have stretched out mine hand over thee.
So remember, check it out. This goes precept upon precept with Job 9:24. If the Most High, how did the Most High let the ordinary food become unordinary? How did he do that? He raised up Esau, gave him the power, and corrupted the entire planet Earth. God did that. He's showing you how he did that. Read it again.
Behold, therefore, I have stretched out mine hand over thee.
How did he stretch out his hand? The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Read on.
And have diminished thine ordinary food.
So ordinary food we took for granted, fruits and vegetables, before all the processed food in the grocery stores and the shipping industries. 150 years, everyone had small farms. Everyone ate fresh food. Milk was delivered to your door. It wasn't ultra processed and pasteurized. Now ordinary food has diminished, right? That goes with what Officer Matthew said. Vittles are now cheap. You can get 800 calories for $5, packed with all type of preservatives, but it'll fill you up. It'll give you the calories, and that's why we have an obesity rate of 41% in the United States. Dang. It's crazy. We're about to get into that later on. I want to mark that scripture. Matter of fact, get me Ezekiel, I want 5, because that goes directly with, I had this in the queue. I might as well pull it now, because that's a great scripture that Officer Michael just pulled. It's either 4 or 5. I honestly forgot.
Yes, sir. Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. And the Lord said.
Start at verse 1, please.
Yes, sir. Verse 1. Thou also, son of man, take thee a towel and lay it before thee, and poultry upon it the city, even Jerusalem.
So he's talking about Israel. Jerusalem is first as a place and the people. Now he's going to go into what's going to happen to those people. Read on.
Verse 2, and lay siege against it, and build a fort against it, and cast a mount against it.
Right, now that could be going into this actual city as well. But the people, how do you build a fort against the people? Well, you raise up Esau. You put us in slavery. You mess with our food. You mess with our children. You give our food vaccines. You give our children vaccines. You set up Planned Parenthood. You set up free abortions, 1972. Welfare, black fathers out the house, killing more black babies died in the black woman's womb than in all of the modern wars since the 1970s. That's what you get. Read on. Jump to verse 13.
Verse 13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread.
That proves even thus that Jerusalem can be talking about a city. It's also the people. He said, even thus, read it again.
And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel.
Even thus shall the children of Israel, read on.
Eat their defiled bread.
Because our bread, wherever we go, has been defiled. How? When you read in the book of Romans, some brothers had weak faith, and if they knew you was going to the shambles to eat, if they had the inclination, they sacrificed to Jupiter or Zeus or Poseidon or Diana. But you going in there, you're not worried about that. Mm-hmm. Our food was defiled through the way it was sacrificed to gods. Read it again.
And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles.
Read on.
Whether I will drive them.
So our defiled bread, at times, we're talking about sacrifice because 250 years ago, 1,000 years ago, during the Dark Ages, during the Roman Empire, food was much more nutritious and it was less processed. Today, there was no 15 ingredients. There was no vaccines in foods back then. So now the bread is defiled through, we're eating in our enemies' lands, but now they literally are altering, genetically modifying the food. And now we're going to show you a little later on, they're actually putting and have on a bill in law about how much vaccines they can put in your food. It's crazy. Did you get the one with Solomon? Please say you put. No. There's one that Solomon posted about vaccines in the food. See if you can find that. While we wait, go to number 3. Let's go to Brussels, Belgium. Brussels, Belgium is where one of the EU capitals is in Brussels, Belgium. I've been there. It's a huge city. Got a chance to travel there about 7 years ago. It was 8 years ago. This is, by the way, Brussels, Belgium has a huge, at least it did back in 17 and 16, huge population of migrants from African countries. I remember I got the honor and the privilege to travel with the bishops, and I just was shocked with what I saw. This is Brussels, Belgium, which is, again, one of the capitals of the European Union headquarters. Play.
Farmers protesting against red tape and competition from cheap imports rode tractors on Brussels city streets.
So, real quick, we talked about before about Poland, how Poland is getting cheap imports from the Ukraine. So Brussels is Western Europe. It's more northwestern. It's somewhat far from Poland. They're getting the same issues that Poland's getting. Why? Because all the farmers in Europe are going through very similar things. Okay? It's not just the one country. It's the vast majority. Okay? Read on. Play on. I don't know if you saw that. You see all the grains that was dumped over there? I thought it was sawdust. That's not sawdust. Rewind it a little bit. You see that? If you look at that, what is all that on the ground? That is the same thing they did in Warsaw when they dumped, actually it was on the border of Ukraine and Poland. They were dumping truckloads of train cars full of grain. Officer Matthew had something 2 weeks ago. They dumped an entire giant tank of wine on the ground. Okay? Look at all that. That's thousands and thousands of dollars worth of with grain. They're so willing to lose everything they got to stand. This is the last stand. They're willing to lose their livelihood. And that's their stuff that they grew.
And to your point, Cap, it's really amazing that people are dumping food on the ground by the ton, looks like, and spraying government buildings with doo-doo. And nobody's talking about this. Nobody's talking about it.
To the point where y'all got to see this is, that's why we kept reading in Revelation 17. What is going to cause the 10? Give me Revelation 17. This is what's causing the hatred. Remember, Esau is one nation, so-called Caucasians, so-called white people. Polish people, French people, Spanish Caucasians, Czechoslovak, German Caucasians, they are enraged with the policies coming from the master European Union. Who is the puppet master of the European? It's the United States of America. How do we know that? Because Joe Biden said, if they go ahead and jump into Ukraine, there will be no more Nord Stream pipeline. They blew up the pipeline. The Swedes investigated it. We don't know what happened. No one got in trouble. Again, this is how we know that everything comes through the United States. Read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 16.
What we're seeing right here, and I know it's for a lot of you that are like, okay, 3 weeks in a row. No, because it's still going. We got to talk about it. Play.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast.
So the 10 horns is talking about the European Union, a.k.a. NATO. Sometimes it's called the 10 common markets. These 10 horns are now in the process, a time period of building up their resentment, ultimately their hatred for the whore. Who's the whore? Well, verse 4 and 5, it's Babylon the Great, the mother of all harlots. Read on.
These shall hate the whore.
So wait a minute, but they together. The 10 horns and the whore is together. These shall hate. So John's on the island of Patmos getting a vision. He sees all this, and the best way he can describe it is he's describing it like this prophetically. But John actually saw this happen. Just like Solomon saw it, Moses saw this too. These prophets saw this, and they described it the best way that they could. Just like they described the nuclear fire the best way they could. Read on.
And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
How could the 10 horns burn her flesh with fire? There's going to be a thermonuclear war. And NATO and the EU are going to go against Babylon the Great, a.k.a. the United. And Bishop Nathaniel has been covering this for well over a decade and a half. He's been telling us this since 2003 and before that. It's time to wake up, Israel. Y'all got this radio show. We cover geopolitics. But at the end of the day, it's for you to learn. You're the Israelites. You got to come out of the ways of this world. And is it easy? No, it's not. This world is alluring. It's tempting. There's a lot of sin, and sin feels great because the law is strict. Is that it? Okay, go back to that, and we're getting ready to go to break.
The cheap imports come from countries where the I can't see what the
high standard, yeah.
The EU's high standards do not have to be met.
So I'm going to give you an example before we go to break. This is very, very important. Let me tell you why. This is the reason why it's so important. Because there are foods that are served to us in grocery stores that are illegal according to European standards. If you go outside the EU, you skip their strict policies. And the people in Europe are going to be pissed because what they're going to go buy in the store is going to be the same crap they serve to us in America. Like, for example, I watch a guy named Dr. Berg. He says, if you get cheese, don't buy American cheese. He says, get cheese from a European country where they treat the cows differently. There's a gene that the cows in North America have because of what they've done to the food and what they've done to these cows. So now, if you're going to get food in Europe, it's of higher quality. And so that's being threatened because now they're getting cheap imports. And these white folks over there are like, hold up. First, you blow the Nord Stream pipeline. You make I can't go to the movies anymore. I can't get the new car anymore. Wait a minute. We're white just like you. What are you talking about? Now you start to see their true colors. And that's why the house is dividing and splitting apart. The 10 horns are beginning to hate Babylon. Babylon's over here across the pond, sitting with 2 oceans protecting it, the strongest military, and they're struggling like hell over there. They're gonna rise up. They're realizing what's going on. Play. We're almost done.
The protests are the latest in a series of rallies and demonstrations by farmers across Europe.
Okay, before we go to break, there's one more. I want to go to 5. We'll come back from 3. Now, this is what, it's a short video. Now we're going to show you a little bit more in depth. Now the police are putting up barricades, and now these farmers are breaking through it. Look, here's another angle. So, can we see that? Okay. I got you. Thank you. So check it out. So if you look on the screen, shout out to the tech team. They finally put a TV in front of us. If you look at the police barricade, all of that is, again, grain on the ground. And what's going on right now is they have all these barricades. When we play the video, watch what these white farmers are doing to these white police. And I have to say it like that because this is a white country, first-rate problems, and now their livelihoods on the line. Watch what they're doing. Play.
As soon as possible.
Damn.
Thanks. Nick, do you have anything to add?
So, pause. So we'll get ready. So we're showing you last week they were not doing this. So the last show on the 22nd of February, we see a rise in frustration even more from last week. So we're going to show you after the break, we're going to continue to show you things that are going on in Europe across these major European countries and what they're up against and how this continues to build Esau the Terrible in his war against food. They want to control the policies, the Green Deal, so that they can control the food, which then control the people. So with that, we're precept upon precept. We're getting ready to stick around. You're going to Officer Michael with the Bible verses. Then break, then kingdom music with Officer Matt. Stick around. Shalom.
The streets to bring it out, they don't like that. No count, we ain't lying, we ain't fly, yeah. A roaring lion crouching down, they don't like that. The tribe of Judah, watch us do this, we gon' fight back.
Hey, shalom, Most High in Christ. Bless Israel. Hey, this is your brother, Officer Mikael, and this is the Bible verses. And tonight, the Bible is going to be versing Charleston White. Go ahead and play that video. And hey, look, this man is so much of a coon that IT got to take extra time to load this video. Go ahead.
Say, now listen. I understand you niggas done discovered some knowledge. You niggas have discovered, hey, you a Hebrew. Some niggas say, hey, I'm a Zulu nation. And I'm saying, I ain't none of that shit. Nigga, I'm a nigga. I'm a nigga, baby. The seed of a nigger. I'm the seed of a Nigger slave. I ain't no Hebrew Israelite, none of that shit. I don't want to be no motherfucking Hebrew Israelite. I want to be a dumb, ignorant, big dick, shit talking nigga that can't read like the ignorant niggas that can grow food and build something. Now you niggas go on and be Hebrew. My grandmama is 84 years old, and I go say somebody Hebrew, she'll cuss you and me out. My mama don't identify as a Hebrew. I identify as a nigga. A ignorant motherfucking nigga playing smart, talking shit, and that can fuck like the government. All that other shit you niggas talking about, ain't no Hebrew kill no white man. Ain't no Hebrew ever raped no white woman. I'm down with raping and killing white folks, nigga. Yeah. Ain't no Hebrew came and they wasn't no DC sniper. Man, you Hebrew niggas ain't never done shit for us. So why the fuck would I proclaim and profess to be something that's weak in a motherfucker as a goddamn black-ass Hebrew Israelite that ain't got nothing, won't do nothing to nobody, and hooping and hollering, talking about what they is. Die for it then, nigga. Fuck you talking about, die for it. Go, 50 Hebrews get up and die today. Show us. Nigga, other than that, so you talking like the rest of the
Give me 1 Corinthians 14 and 38. Because this how we going to deal with him. 1 Corinthians 14:38.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 38.
Uh-huh.
But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant.
Read it again.
But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant.
So we're going to let that ignorant nigga be ignorant. Now, he said the Israelites ain't doing nothing. Meanwhile, the Israelites have places of worship in almost every city in the United States and several around the world. What are they doing? They're getting people off of drugs. They're putting men back in the households. They're raising children. They're raising law-abiding citizens that, yes, we're not trying to kill white people or rape white women. Why? What's the point? What kind of enjoyment would you get out of that? So, yes, if a nigga is going to be ignorant, let him be ignorant. So Charleston White is the ignorant nigga, and you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are the Israelites because you fit the curses in Deuteronomy. Let's get one of those curses out of the book of Deuteronomy. Give me verse 32. Because he said his grandmama and his mama don't identify as Israelites or Hebrews, as he puts it. But let's see. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Now, this ignorant nigga out his mouth said he identifies as a slave. Read that again. What would happen to the Israelites?
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
That sounds like slavery. Read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
That means families were ripped apart forcefully. That happened to Charleston White's family. That's how he got here. Just like we got here on the bottom of those slave ships. Read.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
There was no might in our hand to get our children back. That's why our ancestors didn't come over here on the boats to get us back, because they had no power to do so. Let's get give me verse 37.
Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword.
Charleston White is an astonishment. He is a proverb and a byword. Yes, he's an ignorant nigga out of his own mouth. He's an ignorant nigga. Read.
Among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
All nations call him an ignorant nigga. White folks call him an ignorant nigga. The Arabs call him an ignorant nigga. The Chinese call him an ignorant nigga. And even the Israelites call him an ignorant nigga. Because he is ignorant. He's ignorant to the fact that he's the greatest people to walk the face of this earth. Because he wants to make himself lesser. He wants to make himself lower. He don't want responsibility. He likes to talk a big game about helping the community and correcting his people, but he don't want to take the responsibility of actually doing it. And when our light shines, it makes his light diminish, and that's what he's afraid of. So look, this has been the Bible versus Charleston White, and like the scriptures say, if a man be ignorant, let him be ignorant still. You want to be an ignorant nigga? Have at it. And your ignorant ass is going to be 2/3 if you don't repent.
The streets to bring it out, they don't like that. No count, we ain't lying, we ain't fly, yeah. A roaring lion crouching down, they don't like that. The trouble you to watch us do this, we gon' fight back. Yeah, your pastor know we lied.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. My name is Captain Shem, IUIC New Orleans. Help us to grow. YouTube page, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell notification. And now it's even easier, y'all.
Hey, and also part of New Orleans Camp, we got the community cleanups. Cleaning up our neighborhood one at a time.
What y'all waiting for? Subscribe.
What are you waiting for? Subscribe! There's so much wrong going on in the world, but somehow we keep it all smile.
Subscribe and follow us on all social media accounts. We got TikTok, we got Twitter, we got Rumble, and YouTube. Make sure y'all follow IUIC New Orleans. Shalom.
Hey, also, we got flyer missions every day and also camp videos. Check us out, IUIC New Orleans.
So remember, go to our YouTube page, subscribe, like, share, and don't forget the QR code. When the QR code comes out, don't forget to take your phone out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why isn't it done? Shalom, Israel.
Have a good time, that's what we say. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High.
You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. Going in, going all in. Going all in. I'm going in, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in.
Look, Israel, go ahead right now. Right now, as we speak, take your phones out, scan the QR code, and rate the show. Let us know what we're doing. Let us know how we can improve. Get it done. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the king.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless, Most High in Christ bless. Y'all already know what time it is. Officer Matt with Kingdom Music. Now we got a nice little group that then came up out of nowhere, honestly. Prodigy Kings. Let's get right into their first single.
Oi, when you see me on the streets, we don't fear no foe. ADL can't escape the wrath we are poor. SPLC don't like you hear the truth. Fake Jews are gonna get you and they wish for them road. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Prophesied against Babylon till the bombs drop. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Purple lightning, yeah, they on the road, clap, clap. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Prophesied against Babylon till the bombs drop. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Purple lightning, yeah, they on the road, clap, clap. Try all the might with the lies and slander. The truth and the fairy tale like Wakanda. Bishop Gideon and not 1 second we ponder. Drop them back, they say they have the whole world I wonder. Prophets said against them kingdom. We enforce this truth till the black king come. Father Babylon, everything I get fling down. Rain down, fire, nuclear, now leave no. One shot off your mouth, we are gonna make you meet a maker. World War III are coming, I got dinner undertaker. Purple on your face, we no deal with time waster. 365, we no need time breaker. Christ give the other, we no care who want vex. Spiritual, the bullets, we are shot through them best. No have no escape, we are come for your neck. Size 10 black boot, I got rest in your chest. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Prophesied against Babylon till the bombs drop. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Purple lightning, yeah, they on the road, clap, clap. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Prophesied against Babylon till the bombs drop. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Purple lightning, yeah, they on the road, clap, clap. Cry aloud, spear not strip, knock them out like a fear shot. Overgrown, overbird, why do them strays, yeah. Pets on the loose, hey, hold them chain and redemption for the 12 for you. Straight disaster, prepare the slaughter. The hunters me call for. Soldiers are strong, never weak, never falter. Powerful, mighty, got the whole armor, the more, so you give me strength, so we have to prosper. Hey, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. Die rather than die, soft, die comfort me. 10,000 shall fall at thy right hand. Truth busting at them region, kill legions of demons. Persecute and destroy them in my anger. Esau is a virus, them have to go under. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Prophesied against Babylon till the bombs drop. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Purple lightning, yeah, they on the road, clap, clap. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Prophesied against Babylon till the bombs drop. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Purple lightning, yeah, they on the road, clap, clap. From Kampala in a Uganda, from Kombolo in a Sri Lanka, from Wellington in a New Zealand, 12 tribe worldwide, so we have to travel. With Bible full of shots and a marble. And the scriptures we use, no one a gravel. That peel them off like them a apple. People them a pass by, some of them marvel. Tell them it's a spiritual battle. Now no time for your grace like cattle. Round the neck we a put body shackles. We a put body shackles. Them can't pop we cap like bottles. Spiritual uppercuts watch them a topple. Round them neck we a put body shackles. We a put body shackles. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Prophesied against Babylon till the bombs drop. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Purple lightning, yeah, they on the road, clap, clap. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Prophesied against Babylon till the bombs drop. We ain't gonna stop, yeah, we ain't gonna stop. Purple lightning, yeah, they on the road, clap, clap. We ain't gonna stop.
Tragedy Kings. So we do it thing, yeah? Top of the top.
We ain't gonna stop,
in the
yeah,
trap.
we ain't gonna stop.
Over and out. Not a knockout, but I'm out.
We ain't gonna
Log
stop,
out.
yeah, we ain't gonna stop.
Hey, all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Look, that's Prodigy Kings from their debut album, Indignation, Righteous Anger. All right? Obviously, you can tell they Benji. You know what I mean? But Benji come with that fire. So Benjavites probably about to pass the torch. Who knows? But look, support righteous music. All right? Original Royalty is coming out with so much music. You ain't going to need to go listen to nobody else. You can have all genres covered under one roof. Original Royalty. All right? That's been Kingdom Music. Shalom. Let's get back to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Green King. Let's go.
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Hey, welcome back, Precept upon Precept, y'all. Late show. This is the video. Matter of fact, put the thumbnail back up because shout out to Officer Solomon Isaiah out here in New Orleans. He posted this video, and a lot of us know about Bill Gates and his history of messing with food and water and people's medicine and vaccines. So can we, did they see that on the screen? Okay, so the thumbnail, yes, I'm sorry. I did tell you the thumbnail, my apologies. Put that back up, the thumbnail. You were right, I was wrong. So if you look in the upper right-hand corner, if there's like an old style medicine, the green bottle, and you see the syringe, what they're doing, what we're about to hear, it's almost, I had to process it. Like, how is this even being talked about? Because they're talking about the dosages that they're going to allow the vaccines to be put in your food, and that they have to actually label it so that people don't die. Because if you give too much vaccine, it could hurt a child. And if you don't give enough vaccine in the food, it could actually not protect them, allegedly, right? So now, show that. Okay.
As farmers across Europe protest for their livelihood, Bill Gates is promoting a company called Savor, in which he's investing. Savor is working to replace animal-based butter with synthetic butter. In a recent ad, Gates said, animal fat is the secret ingredient that gives many foods their richness, juiciness, meltability, and overall flavor.
So they want to replace animal fat. And by the way, there's a whole push that said that animal fat and lard, beef fat is bad for you, when reality is the crap like margarine and the processed vegetable oils are the worst thing for you. And actually lard and animal fat and fats that are from animals and plants like avocados are good for you. Is this the video? And please forgive me if it actually goes into about vaccines in the food. Okay, beautiful.
That's great. Agricultural emissions are one of the most difficult to get rid of. People have come up with alternative food, but what we're seeing is that it's hard to get more than a small market share. And those foods just don't taste the same. Savor's made an advance.
So Bill Gates is talking about things like Beyond Meat. If you go to your local Walmart, Rouse's, A&P, Piggly Wiggly, you will find in the meat section, it is lab-created, so-called plant-based meat. It looks like meat, and from what I understand, it tastes like garbage. It's not like a bean, it's not like a bean style, what the hell they call it, but black bean burger, right? This is something that they're trying to mimic the texture. Bill Gates is saying, we're missing the fat. Let's create some synthetic fat in the lab. Now we can almost create the real thing to give it the taste and the texture. And all that is being created without animals. Because why? The agenda is the Green Deal, to cut carbon emissions, get rid of all of the processing of animals and crops with this big diesel equipment, get bugs, create lab-grown meats that taste and look and feel like the real thing. Play on.
It's ultra different in terms of the environmental footprint, but it's as good as those real animal fats.
At Savor, we've been really excited to explore a new technical approach to making food that does not require vast amounts of land or animal suffering. It doesn't, produce greenhouse gases. It's a totally non-agricultural method for producing food. The fats that Savor makes are made by a thermochemical process. They are the only foods in the world so far that are made entirely without photosynthesis.
Do you hear that? So the photosynthesis, as we all know, is a combination of the sun, the uploading of the sunlight into the plants, And if the cows and the bovine animals eat that, they take up the nutrients from the photosynthesis of the plants. Esau saying, I'm going to be God, create food without the process that God created. Esau's the devil, the Bible speaks of.
But we need that, though. We need plants to have photosynthesis because it makes the nutrients in the plant come to the front. Right. We eat the plant, or the animals eat the plant. We eat the ant. It's a circle of life. We learned that from the Lion King. Like, come on now. How are you going to say we're going to create something in the lab that uses absolutely no photosynthesis, as if photosynthesis is bad?
This is why you know who's running the earth. The Arabs are not pushing this. Chinese are not pushing this. The Africans in the Sudan are not pushing this. Neither are the Iranians pushing this. It is Babylon the Great, Bill Gates, an American white man. They are pushing this agenda. This is an evil agenda masked with the understanding of it's to save the planet. This is what they're doing. And guess what? These companies that create this are going to make billions and trillions of dollars. And guess what? They're not going to be eating this crap. They're going to have a stalled calf. They're going to have fruits and vegetables still in their private multi-million-dollar. They're not going to eat this garbage. Okay?
Hey, Cap, can I pull a scripture?
Please do.
Revelation 6:8. This right here is a culmination of what they're doing. That's why we know that the person that's sitting on this horse right here is Esau, the so-called white man. Read.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death.
Death was the name of this person that sat upon that pale horse, which we know is Esau. They are pushing death throughout the entire world. Read.
And hell followed with him.
And
power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth.
Power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth. To do what?
To kill with the sword.
To kill with sword. That's why America has the best military.
Right.
Read.
And with hunger.
And with hunger. They control who makes what food, how your food is grown. They don't just affect the grocery stores. They affect the source. The people who grow the food. They affect the seeds. Read.
And with death. And with the beast of the earth.
With hunger, with death, and with the beasts of the earth, which goes into zoonosis and viruses. Now, the zoonosis is going into the food. They're putting literal viruses inside of food because we're not taking the viruses from the doctor.
Right.
So they want to get that. They want to get that chemical in you somehow, some way. So now they're going through food. That's crazy.
And they're the devil because a lot of us got hip to the vaccine. Some people, there were some military pilots that got kicked out of their, they were not commissioned officers. Yeah, they were commissioned officers, majors, second lieutenants, first lieutenants. They were getting kicked out of the Army and the Air Force because they refused to take the vaccine, only later to get hired back with back pay because they realized it was unjustified. They realized the whole COVID thing, they couldn't push the vaccine. Now they're going to force it on you with your food. They're going to make it legal, and there's nothing you can do about it. Just like they make it legal for a transgender, cross-dressing person to come into your elementary school and teach your children. They teach you that your boy can cross-dress as a girl. You don't even need the parents' permission. If you come in and see it, you raise hell, they'll call the police on you. This is the country we're living in. This is the Babylon, the land of confusion. It's crazy. This is play on because what Officer Math said, you may say that it sounds outlandish. They are literally going to tell you that they're putting it in our foods. And they're trying to regulate how much they can give, and they're doing it at a legislative level. I cannot believe this. Play on. Listen to this.
To have you here, we're gonna have a meal together. Everything has been made with savor fat, different kind of formulation of savor fat in it. Everything we're trying to showcase here is that sustainable food needs to be craveable as well in order to get to mass adoption and mass market. We think that butter is very special and it fits very well our technology because it's hard to replicate animal butter. It has a very complex composition when it comes to fatty acid. What do you think?
That's great. Oh, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that wasn't bad.
Okay, that's great.
What shall we try next?
Next is burger and fries. So in this we have a different kind of formulation. So it's our savor tallow formulation. And then we have fries, and then we have aioli.
That's quite good.
Here we are looking for juiciness. We're looking for what we think is so far missing in the alternatives we find on the market. All of them are using plant oils. So like the melting profile is different, the mouthfeel is different. And so how do we get to something juicy and drippy and craveable? So now we have the end of this journey, which after burger, we're just gonna get ice cream. And this is what you're looking for, something which is truly pleasure.
I need to find something with the vaccines in the food. So listen, hey y'all. So this is what Bill Gates is doing. By the way, Bill Gates had bought a company that he's changed the formula or the recipe for apple cider vinegar. I think it's called White House or White something. So those of you who use apple cider vinegar with the mothers, which does have some health benefits, they're going to start to strategically go after things that are very good for you, and they're going to start changing them at a molecular level, like they've done with seeds, with the GMO, genetically modified seeds. That didn't exist 50, 60 years ago. Now to spend, you got to spend money to find the label that says non-GMO now. And if you get that, you think you won the lottery. All you're doing is getting normal food the way it was supposed to be made. And you got to look, and then if you really want the healthiest, you got to find non-GMO with organic. That together is normal food, the way it was 50, 60 years ago. The level of crap that we on right now. Did we find it?
Hey, Cap, what our people don't understand is some of our people still in a trick bag. They'll say, well, like when he did that whole concoction where he's like, hey, this water, I took all the fecal matter out of it. He probably had a bottle of Dasani or something, and he's like, yeah, look, I'm drinking it, so you should drink it. Same thing they did with the jab. They were like, okay, this person's taking it. Then they had a couple of bloopers where they didn't actually take it. He probably doing the same thing like they try to do Eliezer. Like, hey, look, if you just get some meat that's lawful and you eat it in front of everybody else, and then the rest of them they'll do that. He probably ain't eating the crap that he said that he's producing, right. But he'll get the masses of the simple ones that'll go follow behind him and follow his example.
So look, this is it. So, and Bill Gates is really on a systematic level trying to recreate what God set up through photosynthesis, through the process of meat for food, the process of plants for food, scientifically at a molecular DNA level, modifying the seeds themselves. Now we're going to show you, Samikio created the thumbnail, that they're literally, and so actually I made a mistake. Solomon, sorry tech team. Watch what he's going to say here. Play.
A lot of us have never thought about vaccines in the fruits and vegetables you get at the store. Some lawmakers say could be a reality soon,
now,
and they're looking
to stop. I want you to rewind it, and this is being said by a news anchor in an American television station. This is so outrageous. It just shows you that I think the American public realizes that this is the end of the world. Watch how eloquently it comes off his tongue. They're going to try to, the same way, don't take the jab, they're going to put it in your food. Think about how wicked that is. It's like, it's poison and they put cyanide in your food. That's the level they're on. There's some straight wicked evil. You would figure if you go to the produce section and get fruits and vegetables, you're safe. They're trying to and that's why they don't want small farms. That's why they're doing all this, because small farmers in the farmers market, okay? This is why we have to individually, personally, and as a community, we have to grow our own food. Not just because it's more nutritious, because we can control. And if we have non-GMO seeds, when they come to bloom and blossom and then we harvest them, we can save some of the seeds, dry them, save them, and then they're for next year. We're going to have to do that to preserve. Like the movie, The Book of Eli. Some things phased out. And we have to preserve certain things that we have. And we have the power, all right? Play.
That's something a lot of us have never thought about. Vaccines in the fruits and vegetables you get at the store. Some lawmakers say it could be a reality soon, and they're looking to create some new rules to keep Tennesseans safe. Tony Sloan's live from the state capitol to tell us more about this legislation. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ben. Well, we want to make it clear that there are no vaccines in your lettuce or tomatoes when you go grocery shopping right now. But lawmakers say it may be a question of when, if not if.
So I want to
Now,
pause. I
Representative
want to
Scott
show you
Sapicki
that
says
this
researchers.
American voting system is 100% garbage. You have the popular vote, and you have the college electoral vote. If you were to ask I don't care what race you are, you could be white, you could be black, ask the popular vote, do you want vaccines in your food? You're going to get a 99 point, if not 100% no. But because the college electoral is persuaded and it is run by special interest in corporations, they're going to get these college electoral to vote for that. It doesn't matter what you say. They're going to push it through irregardless. Just for example, 40 years ago, when I was a boy, right, I never in a million years would have thought that you would have openly gay marriage. In my mind as a child, I wouldn't be able to conceive that. I wouldn't be able to conceive. It's here. It's not. If you don't think it's like, well, you don't know that. It's happened years ago. Just like that happened, there's gonna be vaccines in your food, brothers and sisters.
Hey, Cap, they just sent that Instagram video. That Instagram video.
Play it.
That Instagram video. That we got to hear that.
And here's the thing: they don't know about people's medical history or nothing. So, what if somebody's got what's going to be the side effects of that? They're pretty much just endangering people. And they just reckless. They don't even give a damn at this point.
You know what's crazy? Can we get that scripture in Sirach? The Lord made medicines out the earth. This is how you know that Esau is the damn devil that the Bible speaks of. They are the antichrist. They are the wicked. They are the sons of the devil. They are the seed of evil in this earth. They are the border of wickedness.
This is the one that Solomon shared. Listen, y'all. Listen. So that was the nightly news. See, a lot of times this TikTok, Instagram, that's fake news. We're listening to a white news anchor, and you got Jake in the back who's just trying to keep his job. And they're talking about, well, it's not, the black man's like, well, it's not really in your food yet. But lawmakers are just trying to decide when and where it's going to. They're already set it up in place. Now, but what we fail to realize is you Negroes are so dumb. You don't think they've already done it? Yep. Who's going to actually be there to, are you kidding me? Esau can blow up the Nord Stream pipeline. Joe Biden, look, if you cross over to Ukraine, it's not going to be there. And the news reporter says, well, sir, Mr. Biden, what do you mean? Trust me, it's not going to be. Then they blow it up. Methane gas is all in the Baltic Sea. There's an international investigation. No one knows what happened. So you think they're not going to put vaccines in your food? Are you crazy?
Cap, I'm gonna explain the mindset of black people when it come to food. I was in the doctor's office waiting to get an X-ray. Guy was in a wheelchair, right? He's in there, must have saw a friend. He was like, hey, what's going on, brother? What's happening? They shooting the stuff. He said, what you in here for, man? It was like, oh, man, I had to go see the doctor. Yeah, what the doctor say? The doctor say my blood pressure is, getting up there. And, I got the gout in my foot now. And they said, oh, so let me guess, you can't eat the crawfish no more? He's like, yeah, I can't eat the seafood no more. Can't eat the pork. Can't do this, can't do that. I'm up in there like, well, yeah, you ain't supposed to do that in the first place. You know what the friend said?
What?
Well, I guess I got to eat all I can before it happened to me.
Wow.
Literally, a literal conversation.
Them be the same niggas. You go to Walmart, they in that little cart.
Yes.
And they want you to hand them the Star Crunch and the pork. Like, I can't get
Nope.
up. Just hand. I'm not handing that to you. They be looking at you. I'm like, bro, you a breath away from a stroke, and you want me to hand you the honey bun that's gonna go ahead and put you in the coffin.
I'm not going to be complicit in your death.
They just wait till lard back attack. They're called lard mobiles because they used. Now let me tell you, they used to have handicap mobiles for a couple of the handicaps that go in, and then you needed them. The population the sheer numbers of mobiles that are portable have tripled and quadrupled. Now they're just for fatbacks to wheel around the grocery store. There's a place in Texas, in East Texas, the fattest city in America. And you go in there and you got to wait in line. The mobiles, they have traffic jams. They might put lights in this. It's horrible. McKinley, Texas, or something like that. The fattest population in the country. And one lard-back woman couldn't even make it out the door. They had to move her lard-mobile, and she had to get up and walk sideways and then get back on the lard-mobile after she got out the store. Anyways, that was a tangent. Play the TikTok. I'm sorry, scratch my face.
Give me an example of a food that's a vaccine.
You recognize? Yes, sir. University of California, Riverside has already perfected the ability to put human vaccines into our lettuce right now. Also, tomatoes has the ability to do that also for UC Berkeley.
But pause. University of Berkeley, that actually, I just passed it. It was in San Francisco area. Very, very, very prestigious school. And he just said a official, Representative Scott Sapicki out of it was the Republican Party. He just said the University of Berkeley, California, has perfected, meaning to perfect something, you had many trial periods.
Yep.
Finally, Joe and Chuck said, hey, Chuck, try 357. We got it this time. Meaning they know how to successfully put it in your plants, your fruits and vegetables. They already got it down packed. They've already tried it, and they're waiting for the lawmakers to say, you got the green light. But wait till you see this. This gets so much worse, y'all. We're going to play this twice. Play on.
And Big Tobacco, R.J. Reynolds and stuff, has perfected the ability to put a human vaccine into tobacco products.
Whoa. We're not going to slide past that one. Y'all smoking the vaccine with them Newport 100s, them cigarillos, them cigars, the cools. Oh, y'all smoking the vaccine. That's what y'all doing. He said they know how to put it in lettuce, which Chuck Berry thought that he was going to forget about that. It's not in your lettuce or your tomatoes. White man said it's in your lettuce and your tomatoes, and it's in your tobacco products. Y'all like that dip? Yeah, y'all taking the vaccine. Y'all like to smoke them cigarettes? Y'all taking the vaccine. The Most High told y'all, don't defile your temple. You keep smoking them cigarettes, your ass going to smoke the COVID vaccine too.
Officer, the mind of the Negro say, it ain't killed me yet. Yeah, that's what the Negro say.
Hey, reading that right there, it says lettuce vaccine bill passes committee. I mean, it sounds like this bill is already passed.
Hey, Tracy Frazier, you in the spirit. Hey, it's gonna be in your medical marijuana too.
Yep.
All y'all little potheads, y'all gonna be vaccinated through your weed.
Hey, if it's in the tobacco, it's probably already in the weed. They did it at the same time.
Y'all gotta really, you gotta really think. Put your mind in the mind of a white man. So as they're doing this, let's think about this. They have to be reverse engineering it. Well, we want to kill this many people. All the big wigs that are trillionaires that are not going to take the vaccine. Well, we're going to create mass hysteria. We're going to create a problem called COVID-19. We're going to make it seem like people get killed in mass numbers. They were bringing them to the hospital. After they were bringing them to the hospital, they were putting them on intubators, which intubation is such a dangerous procedure in itself, by itself. And then when they extubated you, all these different things is very, very, have you ever seen it? I've seen it happen. It's a horrible procedure. People were dying because of that, right? So they created that. Wuhan, China, the whole Trump, China, in a lab. Now they shut businesses down. They control that. And a lot of people were wise to the evil and said, we ain't getting that. People were willing to lose their job. They did not want to sign up for the vaccine, and they were smart. Esau says, okay, now we can't get them like that. What we're going to do is this. We're going to say that you have the option to take the vaccine, but we're going to slowly get laws passed, and we'll start with dosage that we find are legal. So the next thing was Dr. Fauci and the FDA, and they're going to say, don't worry, it's within the legal doses of your fruits and vegetables. They're going to get laws to say that you can put, and this is what they're going to do. then they're going to go after backyard farmers. Just like it's in some states, if you collect rainwater, they were fining them and putting them in jail if they didn't pay the fines. It's going to get so bad, they're going to try to make it so that you, and I hope it doesn't happen in our lifetime, but it may, you cannot grow carrots, bell peppers, bananas, and stuff in your backyard. They're going to start with a tax, and then if they can't get with that, they're going to start coming in and commandeering your properties. Why? Because they need to control the masses. This is why those small farmers and these medium-sized farmers are driving hundreds of miles in their tractor, dumping grains out, burning tires, spraying feces and manure all over the steps, breaking police barricades down with tractor attachments. They're dumping thousands of gallons of wine on the highway, train cars full of grain. They're letting loose on the train track. What? Because they know. These white folks know this is the last line of defense. If they get through that, they can control the food and they can control every part of society. And guess what? God's allowing it all to go down because the 10 horns are going to hate Babylon the Great, and it's going to cause a doggone war. And then the Most High are going to gather everything up in the Valley of Decision. And like Bishop talked, it's not World War III. It's going to be Armageddon. And that's what we hope and pray for. So these things were showing. This is happening yesterday. These things are happening this year. Vaccines in your food, it's just like, just for example, when I said it before, about 4 shows ago. Mr. Spacely and the Jetsons, the concept for the iPhone watch where you can talk, that was back in the late 60s. It's here. And if you act like you don't know, what are you not with the times? It's here. It's striving. Vaccines in your food, it's already here. And guess what? It's coming. It's going to get worse and worse. Play the rest of that TikTok. We're going to go on, move on.
Is that even legal to do in the state of Tennessee, to sell those with a vaccine in them?
You recognize? Well, I'm not arguing that point. What I'm saying is there is no law deeming those that when you go into a grocery store, you should know as a consumer this head of lettuce is a head of lettuce. The head of lettuce right next to it could contain a vaccine in it. All we're saying is if it does have the vaccine in it, make sure it's listed as a pharmaceutical so people can get the proper dosage.
And my question is right now, can you walk into a grocery store and there be a head of lettuce for sale that has a vaccine in it? I don't think that's allowed under state law presently. And if it is...
Pause. This is what he's saying. This guy right now, he's very shocked because he's shocked to the point where the other representative said, look, what I'm saying is this. Well, we're going to put it in the lettuce, but what we want to do is put it in the freezer that says pharmaceutical lettuce, right? That's what he's saying. So he's already telling you, we're going to do it. We're just going to make sure you know what we're doing. The other white guy's like, wait a minute, hold up. He's like, you can do that? So they're divided here. They're divided. Same thing in Europe. The countries of Poland, the governments of Poland that follow the EU's marching orders, their governments are putting so much pressure on them, the EU is going to turn. These people right here, and this guy, these Republicans under Trump and these guys, they don't want vaccines and government involvement with vaccines. They don't want women, grown-ass men with Adam's apple playing gym volleyball with women. They don't want any of that crap. And the left, the liberals, who are more wicked than these Republicans, are still the devil. We're having a war, Esau against Esau here. They're having everything's being divided. Y'all got to see it. It's one big doggone nightmare. Okay, play on.
Listed as a
pharmaceutical.
Are we going to then have Walgreens pharmacists with a refrigerated section? I mean, how's this going to play out?
Hey, like, don't get it twisted. When they say, yeah, it's going to be labeled as a pharmaceutical product, they're going to have a little small sticker with a number. If that number is a certain way, then we know it's pharmaceutical. But Negroes don't look at stuff like that. It's not like they're going to have a big, huge sign that says pharmaceutical fruits and vegetables.
Right.
No, they're gonna do it in a really slick way.
Right.
Oh, we're gonna have a symbol on there that's gonna be a circle with another circle inside of it. And when you see that symbol, you know that it's pharmaceutical.
Right.
Like, we don't do that. We don't look at stickers.
And to your point, Officer Matt, it's a very good point, because right now there's a little box called non-GMO, right? And what is non-GMO that regular non-GMO, what is it? The non-GMO will always be more expensive. So black people are going to go into the store. We're already struggling. I get the lettuce for $1, but then the lettuce that doesn't have the vaccine is twice as much. I got to eat. I got a budget. Yeah, I ain't really worried, but everything kills me. They're going to get us. It's not going to, by the way, the lettuce without the vaccine is not going to be more expensive. It's going to be more cost effective, and they're going to like you said, they're going to do the label small. They're going to make it so it's so subtle. Y'all brothers and sisters got to see it, man. We are living just like how they're going with the CBDs, the central banking districts, what they doing in China. If you ever go to Walmart, right? If you ever pay attention, you go to Walmart. If you stand in line at the self-checkout, do you notice how the screens, they have these little green boxes? They're tracking hundreds and hundreds of pictures of your face while you go in there. And it's at Walmart, but it's starting to be at other places, so that now they've got an online profile of you. Why? It's the beginning stages of a social credit system with central business banks, digital banks online. That coupled with the foods and the vaccines, they're going to control every part of your life. And if you're not getting the vaccines, they're going to be able to see, this guy's not buying the vaccine lettuce. He's not buying this. That's why I'm telling you, the last resort is we've got to grow our own food. We have to create a way to be like, how you say, we have to be these food sanctuaries. We got to create this. Ezekiel said we would be in little sanctuaries. Each IUIC school, Bishop has been talking about it. We should create our own community gardens. We have to create our own food sources. So when they do what they're talking about, we have a reserve. Not just dry beans and rice, which are always good to have, in stored cans, all that's good stuff, but having our own, whatever, peach trees, pear trees, okay, our own lettuce and blah, blah, blah. You get my drift, right? So, yeah, put it on the screen. I like that. Put that on the screen. Damn.
Decoding your produce, GMO, 8818, 5-digit code starting with 8. Avoid this, as it is genetically modified organism.
So now a lot of us probably didn't know that, so what they're saying is they're not going to put GMO on it. It's a code starting with an 8, right? So now go down.
Conventional. 4 is a bore. 4-digit code starting with a 4 or 3. Grown with the use of pesticides and chemicals, okay for certain fruits and vegetables.
So now also, remember this, the GMO also obviously is grown with pesticides. So they're just showing it the different levels. Now they're going to give you organic.
Organic. 9 is mine. 5-digit code starting with a 9. Grown without pesticides, and it's not a GMO.
And you know what? Sometimes you be in line and you want the best for your children, you want the best for your family. But when the organic is $2 more for everything, it begins to add up very quickly. But the good news is that, and we're getting ready to go to the larvae attack next, I'm going to get into that, is you literally have the option to grow your own food, and it can be non-GMO with no pesticides because you are the one that planted it. So, hey, brothers and sisters, we're just showing you that Esau the terrible, he's the one that's pushing this war on food, global war on food. From the vaccines in the food to the changing of the synthetic meat, lab-created foods, all the way to creating a policy called the Green Deal, in which he's trying to eliminate carbon outputs, which all these farmers all across the world, by the way, not just Europe, are in arms, up in arms, and they're revolting. They're breaking down barricades because they know that if they don't stand right now, big corporations and big business are going to take everything over, and they're going to control the food. So Israel, stay with us as we go to the larvae attack. Shalom. doing time.
You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it. Yeah. You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Hey, I know it's late. I know it's late. Yes, I'm the annoying one. I'm the mean, annoying one. But I don't want you to be in a hospital hooked up to tubes saying, why don't you get the olive oil? Make sure it's 100% so we can anoint and pray over him. Well, that's your choice. And you're not going to see me come and anoint you because I'm trying to help y'all lard asses now. Give me Dr. Bobby Price.
Drugs that don't heal.
Yeah.
You know, you've never seen a high blood pressure medication make somebody not have high blood pressure. They still got it.
Yeah.
You know, so like they don't heal you, they treat you. The food industry is supposed to nourish you.
Yeah.
It's full of genetically modified foods, full of food chemicals. They're not there to nourish you. You think about the hospital, you go there, if you go there and you feel bad and then they check your vitals and it's normal, they send you home. They don't know how to treat healthy people.
Right. Yeah.
They don't even know how to make you healthy.
Wow.
They know how to remove the symptoms. So when you look at those three industries and you think to yourself for a second, this is who I'm putting my health in the hands of?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. You have to be your first physician.
Okay, I want you to play it again. And while we play it again, I want you to remember the three areas. He talks about the food industry, he talks about the medical health industry, and he talks about the pharmaceutical that supports the health or the medical industry. What he's saying is so spot on. By the way, Dr. Bobby, shout out to Bobby Price. This brother, man, is, I pray the Lord he repent one day. He is, I guess he was in jail at one point, and he became a doctor, and now he owns a tropical fruit farm where he eats everything, grows his own food, and he's really pushing health. And it is very much aligned with the Bible. So let's play it again, and let's listen to the three businesses or industries, rather, that is set up to destroy the Israelites. Play.
They made drugs that don't heal.
Yeah.
You know, you've never seen a high blood pressure medication make somebody not have high blood pressure. They still got it.
Yeah.
You know, so like they don't heal you, they treat you. The food industry is supposed to nourish you.
Yeah.
It's full of genetically modified foods, full of food chemicals. They're not there to nourish you. You think about the hospital, you go there, if you go there and you feel bad and then they check your vitals and it's normal, they send you home. They don't know how to treat healthy people.
Right. Yeah.
They don't even know how to make you healthy.
Wow.
They know how to remove the symptoms. So when you look at those three industries and you think to yourself for a second, this is who I'm putting my health in the hands of?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. You have to be your first physician.
Get me Sirach 12 and 10. What we have to understand, Israel, okay, is that we are trusting in our enemy's system. According to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 48, and in want of all things. The three businesses or industries Dr. Bobby Price talked about is the health industry, the food industry, and the hospitalization / medication industry. We should never trust our enemies that they want the best for us. But the good news is guys like Dr. Bobby Price, they're saying biblical things. All right, so read.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
Now, I'm going to show you that what Bobby Price said is 100% biblical. Hold that. It said, never trust your enemies. Now, give me Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. This is precept upon precept. And in all these industries, these three industries, it is literally written in this verse we're about to read right now. Watch.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48.
Come on.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
So we serve an enemy that we now have to trust for health, food, and medication, hospitalization. Read on.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
And God is allowing this whole thing to happen. The reason why you're obese, the reason why you have high blood pressure, because you're rebellious people. You don't want to follow his laws. You don't want to follow his sub-laws and his precepts. Read.
In hunger and in thirst.
See that? Hunger. That's going into the food, your health. In your drink, what you drink. Read on.
And in nakedness.
Okay.
And in want of all things.
That's the point. In want of all things. Your hospitalization, your medication is through your enemy, which you should never trust. But you black folks out there, us, all of us, we was part of it. We trust in his system. That's why Officer Matt said something earlier. He said, look, I was in the doctor's office, and one guy was like, oh, I can't put away the crack. I can't eat this stuff anymore. And the other black man said, well, I better eat all I can before it happens to me. That's a sick mind. It's a slave mind, okay? Go back to Bobby Price. We're done with Bobby Price. I'm sorry. Now, I want the statistics from Forbes magazine. So now, I want you to scroll down to start with statistics at a glance. Obesity, there we go.
Obesity statistics at a glance. Obesity is defined as having a body mass index, the BMI, of 30 or higher.
Stop. So 30, that means out of the percentage of your body, you have sinews, tissues, organs, skeletal systems, hair, skin, etc. 30% of that is lard, fat, blubber. That is unacceptable. And guess what? When we read down, guess who is the worst one out of any race in the planet damn earth? You guessed it, the tribe of friggin' Judah. Read on.
Which is calculated by dividing one's weight in kilograms by their height in meters squared, or by dividing one's weight in pounds by their height in inches squared, and then multiplying by 703.
Now, watch this. Next one.
4 million people die each year as a result of obesity.
So why is that such a high number? Because if you become that fat, you have problems with all of your internal organs and systems because you're carrying around significantly more body fat percentage. So your lymphatic system does not work as well. Your circulatory system, which is high blood pressure, does not work as well. Your digestive system does not work as well. All of the systems in your body do not work. Your skeletal system becomes much more taxed because of the excessive weight that's on there. So all of you know these things. You trust in your enemy. God is going to give us the precepts to fix ourselves, but you still like that dumb Negro in the darkness. I best eat all I can before I die. Even in the truth, you do the same thing. Yeah, you're not eating pork. You're not eating crab, but you're eating the same crap. You're doing the same damn thing. We talk to you over and over. The Lord God have something for you. You better fix it. All the games and the BS rah-rah, it's a first-rate problem, and you're the problem, lard ass. Okay? Shout out to Big Red, Urian, and Fatimaya. You better do what you say you're going to do. Read on.
According to the World Health Organization, the worldwide obesity rate has nearly doubled since 1980. The World Obesity Federation predicts that by 2030, 1 in 5 women and 1 in 7 men will have obesity.
This is a shocking, and the reason why it's not higher is because most of the world is skin and bones, and they only can eat 1 or 2 times a day. Really, it's the first-rate countries where you see that, like America, like the European countries, like Australia, with basically the white countries, okay? Read on.
Currently, more people have obesity than underweight in every region of the world, with the exception of sub-Saharan Africa and Asia.
Right, that's what I was referring to. Now, scroll down to the part where it says, we almost done, y'all, where it says obesity in America statistics. Watch this. Y'all keep playing games if you want to. Talk to you for 10 years. You still are the same weight or more. It just tastes so good. Shut the hell up. Okay? You need to fix yourself, lard ass. And by the way, if I'm talking to you, and when I say that it bothers you, I am talking specifically to you. All of you. It's ridiculous, man. You got white people problems. You got enough on your plate dealing with the overt and covert racism, dealing with the fact that you're discriminated and been through 400 years of slavery, Jim Crow, and segregation. You got enough to go through, let alone your health, and you carrying around 120 pounds of extra weight, all the stress it does in your heart. You got high blood, and you can avoid all of that. It took you 30 years to gain that, and you could do it, and you could lose it all in 6 months. Some of you maybe a year, like you morbidly obese, huge circus elephant-looking lard asses. Play on. Read on.
Obesity in America statistics. 19 states have an adult obesity rate that exceed 35%.
This is absolutely, by the way, obesity is a medical friggin' disorder. All of you should be very angry when you see your brother's obese. When you see this should enrage you because they can fix it. This is something they can fix. I have thyroid problems. No, you eat too damn much. Shut your damn mouth. Skip a meal every other day. Eat 1 meal a day and the weight will fall off you. Ask Soldier Joe Badiah. Lost 110 pounds in 6 months. Read on.
At 40.3%, West Virginia has the highest obesity rate in the country.
Now scroll down real quick in the interest of time. I want to go down where it says, yes, according to the State of Obesity Report.
According to the 2022 State of Obesity Report.
Now, this is a report not written by two brothers on the curb from friggin' Detroit. This was a group of scientists and doctors that put together a State of Obesity Report. Let's see what they found out about the Israelites.
Black adults have the highest rate of
and by the way, black does mean Haitian. It does mean Jamaican. I get it. This is talking primarily about black Americans. You know, the ones that were strung from trees. You know, the ones that are called nigger. You know, the ones that are set at the lowest estate where other tribes move here and say, Judah, you black Americans are lazy when we've been through the most. We are the worst. Read it again.
Black adults have the highest rate of obesity in the U.S.
This is just an astonishment. Do you I want you to look at the numbers. Don't look at me. I'm not a lard ass. Read it again.
Black adults have the highest rate of obesity in the U.S. 49.9%.
Let's wrap our mind around that. So this is 2022. We're in 2024. 49.9% of black adults, that means men and women adults, half of the black population in this country is friggin' obese. That is friggin' remarkably horrible. It is a disorder of epic proportions. And I'm going to tell you something. All you lard asses tonight, you're going to lose the weight. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to raise hell. You're going to get in shape. And Judah, Christ come from Judah. What do you think Jesus would feel like right now? You took a doggone all the other great Judites in history. Shamgar. They get on earth and see a bunch of fat, roly-poly lard asses rolling around the cities of America. Are you crazy? Gluttony is a sin, lard ass. Read it again. I'm not going to tone it down. Read it again.
Black adults have the highest rate of obesity in the U.S., 49.9%, compared to 45.6%.
So the 10 tribes are not far damn behind. Okay? And guess what? Remember we did a show with the lovely black debutantes in the 60s. Most of them was very lovely. This is the last 60 to 70 years since the 60s. So that's what, 40? About 60 to 70 years. This is when this crap has happened. You got to listen. This is a problem. And here's the thing. As the Israelites, when we come in this truth, we're supposed to come out of our sin. We're supposed to come out of our ways of disgustingness. So if we're the repenting Israelites, that 49.9%, that's going to come down. That's going to come down. And it starts with you damn officers and you captains, you men of the house, you soldiers and you men. When you can fix yourself first, then you go over to the portly princess platoon and you say, listen, my wife, you're done. No more. I'm gonna put you on this diet, and then she's gonna say, oh, but you're fat. No, I lost 120. You can't say nothing to me. I did it. That's how you're gonna fix it. Then what they're gonna do is they're gonna look at the greater population of 49.9% of black Americans, And they're going to look at IUIC, and they're going to see like 5%. How the hell does that subsection of black America do? Why? Because we apply the scriptures, the Bible that tells us what to damn do. I got no patience for you fatback lard asses. I've seen too many brothers lose the weight and get over it and get over their obesity and overcome and change their health. I know it works. A lot of you brothers, you weak as hell, man. You weak as crap, man. You soft. It just makes, because I know how great we are as a people. And for you to walk around, it's like a prince walking in a fat suit. It's like you are literally princes, and like you got a fat suit on. You can lose that, man. Nah, we ain't supposed to roll like this, man. This is supposed to get all of you friggin' mad right now. 49.9% of the black adult population is obese. That does not include overweight, by the way. That's obese, 30% or higher. What about the ones that are overweight? This is a friggin' problem, man. And I'm getting so friggin' frustrated because a lot of you black people, you're going to have strokes and heart attacks unnecessarily. And you're going to be crying over your damn husband, over your wife, over your daughter because you didn't do nothing about it, man. It is a first-rate American white problem. And guess what? Now our enemies are lower than us. Obesity is a white problem. It is a privileged problem. Now our enemies, look at, they're still high, 41.4%. Guess what? Look at Asians. You telling me, give me Deuteronomy 7, verse 6. We are greater than all these people. Asians we should be below 16%. You crazy as hell, man. I can't wait till I'm ripping you lard asses apart. When I'm going to see you, I'm coming for you. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
We're supposed to be holy. We're supposed to eat in the holy way. That's why God gave us laws and precepts to connect. Very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured. The Lord made his medicines out of the ground. He that is wise will not abhor them. A cheerful and a good heart will have a care of his meat and diet. We are above all nations. We are the holy, peculiar people. And we are walking around. 49.9% of the black American population is obese. Are you serious? Now you in this truth, and y'all, man, you black people better start getting mad. You Judites better stand up. We the lead tribe. We supposed to be the trendsetters. I'm just going to call what it is. All tribes teach well, but Judah lead the way. Judah lead the way. The tribe of Judah, we lead the way. That's scriptural. So we the fattest, it's time to lead the way out of this bull crap. It's time to lead the way to show every other tribe how it's done. We the worst, man. And they crap on us. You get brothers, and no disrespect to nobody from the islands that come over here. You got some brothers who told us when they came here from the islands that they would hear people talk about black Americans and that they're lazy. We're lazy. We've been through the most. And I understand we stressed out, and that's why we eat and all that. Listen, it's over, man. Stop. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that
That's
are
why I
upon
get so damn mad, because I know how special we are. Here you walking around like the subpopulation of black, 49.9% is obese, and you a part of that? And you can fix that? And you got examples all around you of people who have fixed that already in this truth, in IUIC. You still run your dog. I'm getting sick and tired. You want to know why I get mad? One brother in particular, I ain't going to say his name. I'm in his mid-40s, about my age. And I saw the brother, and I saw him at an event, and his heart was heavy. He's like, I don't feel good in my spirit, and this and that. And I'm like, brother, man, you got to cut the carbs, sugars. You can't eat 4 or 5. You got to do 1 meal a day. You got to do that. And the brother, I never forget, and I found out months later, he had a massive heart attack. And I don't feel bad because he knew what he's doing. He had people telling him for years, you got to do this. And we don't want you to have heart attacks and strokes if you don't have to. And these are the statistics. These are hard realities. I didn't write this. And by the way, just to be clear, I guarantee that's above 49.9%, probably 50, 51% right now. So you tell me half of all black Americans is obese? That don't bother you? You should all be enraged. All of us in IUIC, we got to lead the way and say, enough is enough. All we got to do is apply a couple of scriptures. Create support networks for ourselves, and we can get down below them damn Asians at 16%. Are you crazy? You telling me that the tribe of Judah, we not as good as the Asians? Are you serious? A lot of you you're too damn weak, man. I can't wait till the standards come through. I can't. Deacon Isaac, push it through. Read on.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right? So I have to go on a tangent for a little while because I'm sick and tired. And by the way, this is why, brothers, you know who you are. This is why you hold more weight than me. No pun intended this time. Someone I've never been overweight. Matter of fact, I lost 1 pound. I gained about 2 pounds of fat one time. I was getting ready to jump off a bridge. I felt horrible. I couldn't sleep. A little gut. I felt horrible. So I don't know how you gain 50 pounds overweight, 120, and you don't feel. I don't understand how you function. Okay? But you hold more weight. Somebody that like, shout out to Maccabee, his brother in Minnesota. Brother went to war. Convoy, his Humvee blew up. Shrapnel, all kind of injuries, very, very, very depressed. He knows the story. He was at Men's Con. Very, very depressed, ballooned up to 365, super depressed, all kind of medications, diabetes too. I reached out to the brother. We talked. Now, when I see somebody, when I see my tribe, my Judites, I know how great we are. I know I've been through a hell of a lot in my life, just like I knew that brother been through life. And when I saw what he went through, I said, me and him talked, all praise the Lord. The brother, it took him about a year and some change. The brother lost 125 pounds. He got off all his medication. He changed his life. He beat diabetes too. He reversed that. He got paperwork to prove it because he went through a lot. So I know what Judah can do. I know how strong we are as a tribe because we come from the same tribe Jesus came from. And if we that tribe, we got to lead the way. This is ridiculous, and these are facts. And it's probably worse than that, what I showed you. So listen. This is why all of us got to come together. That's why you brothers who are morbidly obese, that amongst you have to be the leaders. And guess what? It ain't going no disrespect to Ephraim, Simeon, Levi, none of them tribes. Yo, Judah, we got to lead the way. We got to lead the way in this revolution of health. Trust me, they're going to follow. They're going to follow. All right? So give me this video. Now we're going to make fun of some fat people. Play. Yes, I'm mad.
Hey, where the hell are you going?
To the gym.
Exercising is so vain and selfish. Oh, I want to look good. Pfft, talk about self-centered.
I just want to be healthy for myself.
Yeah, right. You're just looking to impress people with your body like the shallow and vain person you are. Besides, actual alphas don't need a fit body to get women.
I didn't know that. Maybe I shouldn't go to the gym.
Yeah, now you're getting it.
Maybe I should just stay here and
pause
watch.
Real quick. I'm going to try to calm down. My blood pressure's up because I was getting animated. Now, you'll find out that there is a movement of the lard back reverse peer pressure. We saw it with a lard back that went into a yoga studio and began to yell profanities at the instructors as they were physically working out. We saw other lard backs on the Family Guy create an organization called the National NAAFP, National Association for the Advancement of Fat People. And what they do is try to shame people that are in shape. Here's a prime example. And guess what? Yes, this is funny. I'm still very upset with that friggin' 50% statistic that really makes me sick. Play on.
With you. That way, you don't have to be threatened by me anymore.
Exactly. Here, have some chips.
Wow, thanks. Man, eating all those chips made me tired. I might go lay down for about 45 minutes.
Whew. So you see, not all fat people are jolly. In fact, they're oftentimes depressed, lazy, and resentful, proving that what's on the outside is typically a reflection of what's on the inside. It's easier for them to tear you down.
Get me Sirach 30:25. This is exactly, and you know, this is an underlying truth that a lot of you don't want to deal with. The reason, now I understand there are deep emotional connections that are aligned with eating. A lot of you had stuff happen to you when you was little. You could have been abused physically, mentally, whatever the case may be. Some of you had cigarettes burned out on your arms. Some of you had the crap kicked out of you. Some of you sisters had been sexually abused. And all that's horrible. And some people turn to food to overcome that. But the reality is, what's on the outside usually is indicative of how you feel about yourself on the inside. And check it out. When you decide that you want to reverse what's on the outside, you got to get your spirit right on the inside to do it. And there's support. I talk a lot of ish, but there's support. We've helped a lot of people to lose the weight. I'm very proud of a couple brothers right now. They have changed their life. All praise to the Most High, none to me. There to get the credit, the Lord gets the glory. Read.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 25. A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
So what he said is spirit. He said, look, he said a lot of times, he said fat people, because you hear fat people, they're always jolly. That's all a facade. That's all a facade. They're not happy. When they're alone in the mirror and the camera's off and there's no YouTube, there's no TikTok, there's no audience, and they're standing in front of that mirror, they are very depressed. They are hollow on the inside. They don't feel good about themselves. And they try to put on an image that I'm Irie. No, you're not. No, you're not. Read it again.
A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
Because you don't care about your meat, which the food schedule that you have, and you don't care about how you're putting that in your body. So what's the solution after talking all this crap and getting all mad? You brothers got to cut your carbohydrates, cut your refined sugars. Stop eating so frequently. Very little is sufficient for try one meal a day, healthy keto. That just means no carbs. It's a fancy term for no carbs, no processed foods, no sugars, no snacks. When you do that, you give your body a chance to heal, namely your digestive system and your other systems. And then you get a chance to take the fat that you've been storing over the years, give it an opportunity to work for you. Fat is stored energy. When you give it an opportunity to work, guess what happens? It becomes your food. It's like a candle, it's like a wax. If you got a big candle and you got to get rid of the candle, you got to let it burn. If you do not let it burn, it's not going to get rid of it. When you light that candle, that's ketosis. When you light that candle, then the wax begins to burn. Why? Because it's lighting the fire. When you get in ketosis, your fat becomes your fuel. Guess what? Then the fat goes away. It's literally just that simple. There's no other way. I don't care what nobody tells you. Yeah, you could do it in 3-4 years by just cutting the carbs and doing carbohydrates with lower calories. No, it's not going to be sustainable. So listen, we went over about 10 minutes. Thank you for your time and patience. Y'all got to fix your health. A little serious undertow. You got to fix your health. And you brothers out there in IUIC, I'm coming for you. Officer by officer, captain by captain, soldier by soldier. Yeah, Bakersfield, you know I talked to you already. You're gonna get there, all right? You're going to get there. All praise to the Most High. With that, I'm Captain Shem. Shalom.
You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in.
We're seeking your assistance to enhance our national broadcast. Kindly spare a minute to provide feedback by answering 5 brief questions. Please scan the QR code now.
Hey, Israel, give alms. Give alms to your local schools via PayPal or drop it in the alms box at the school. Hey, if y'all want to give alms to Precept Upon Precept, you can do so via PayPal at IUIC.NewOrleans@IsraelUnite.org. Also, make sure y'all are giving to the Booster Club. You can do so via PayPal at IUIC.fundraising@IsraelUnite.org. Also, give to the Land Fund. You can do that on PayPal at Israel@IsraelUnite.org. Make sure you put in the notes land.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Hey, I just held the room hostage, and I understand that sometimes you got to shock your people. Like I said, the tribe of Judah, we got to lead the way. We are the trendsetters. They breakdancing in 2024 because what a couple brothers started in the late 60s and 70s in the streets of the South Bronx and Brooklyn, New York. We got the soul. We got the flavor. Y'all got to realize that, how strong we are as a people. We are the worst tribe. We do the worst, but we the best, and they all know it. We all know it. So we got to listen. All praise to the Most High. Hey, what's the map?
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless.
I forgot. I'm sorry. QR code. Can you plug that? So right now, this is very important. It's happening through all radio shows and IUIC classes. Scan the code in your lower left-hand corner. For those of you who are a little bit technologically challenged, take out your cameras on your camera app. Aim it at the box, the little yellow box. Click it. It will provide a link. From there, you will hit the link. It will take you into a survey. Tell us how we did. Tell us what we did wrong, what we did right, what we can do to better this show and all the shows. So all praises. Subscribe to New Orleans. We got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Rumble. All right, those symbols there below. All right. So we're getting ready to sign off. Late night show. We're tired as hell, but we hope we informed you about what's going on in the geopolitical realm of Europe and beyond. So with that, I'm Captain Shem.
Officer Matthew.
Officer Mikael.
Officer Micah.
With that, we say
Shalom.
Shalom.
Judo blood. I see. Look, I see matches in the kingdom. I see hunters slaying demons. I see fire on this earth coming down like Hiroshima. I see prophets rising up, prophesying scriptures cut. I see Christ, he coming back.